Hi, hi everyone. So we are going through all the alts, and this session is super important. I'm going to have two passes. One is on daily scale, another on weekly scale. And I'm also going to explain through some drawing because to me this particular time is pivotal. Firstly, Bitcoin is at all-time high, and the same time the Bitcoin is not showing that it wants to make new all-time high. So it's not crashing, or it's not like how to express, it's not dumping at this moment, but the kind of behavior it's showing is not giving me comfort as a TA. I can understand the resistance. So maybe I'll have a quick update on Bitcoin, not just alts, and then we'll go through alts. I think that makes sense. So last night, when it was here, it could have gone down because you see all the supports. This is like this red line is kind of a line where all these bounces happen in past, right? This one penetrated and but then recovered. That makes me that leads to this new trend line. So technically speaking, this was the trend. With the correction, this particular correction, this was broken. Now this is at a different angle. Okay, now this is not a doomsday scenario at this moment, but in my opinion, now the angle has changed. You see this touch and this touch, this bounce was a lifesaver because it was here last night, and now it is here. Now it has to break above. So if it doesn't break above and breaks this 64,500, then we have to worry about its move, next move. Okay, so right now, that's why this phase is so important, and this is even more important because I know that so many of you would be holding alts. So at this moment, I want to highlight what all alts are strong and what all alts are weaker comparatively. So this Bitcoin, briefly, so I have raised alert, just in case if this bounce fails, because right now I don't see any energy here. I think in just last 2 minutes I see some activity, but that's something we have to see if it can break above. We want this orange line to be broken above, at least even if it touches this level. Why it is important is if I draw horizontal line, maybe this line like this. So if you look at this point of rejection, so maybe this makes more sense to me. Instead of line at angle, maybe I should draw horizontal line. So even this line is around 63,000 something, right? So even if it breaks above 64k, I'm happy. Then we don't have to think about anything. Then we'll be talking only about upside move. But this is giving me little hard time. Some of the indicators I have seen, they are already down. Like if you look at MACD, it's down. So I usually don't use because sometimes they are not so accurate. But I saw some indicator, and they are showing sign of weakness and downside movement. So that's about Bitcoin. So this upper edge right now, this is lower and this is upper. It is right in the middle. I think we have to see where it wants to go. If it moves near this orange line towards 64, then it's a time for celebration. If it goes back to this level, I doubt it will be able to hold because this is on edge, as you can see. You may say that it will extend this one. At this moment, you can draw a channel like this from the top like this. Actually, this is also one way to see. I'm drawing too much. Maybe I'll make this green to make this as a zone, required level zone, right? This band, so to speak, and then orange line. Yeah, so we can say this is new resistance. Anyway, so I don't want to get into too much. Right now it's already near 61k plus, and this is the area where it has to break above, right? It has to go through. I think this week is very critical in my point of view, very critical. It's going to tell us what it wants to do, because I don't think it will take longer than that. It has to decide. So let's have a quick look at weekly on when before. So the weekly, this last this 2 week, so this is okay. I mean, no, it didn't tell anything about the direction. This is better. So that's why if you look at it, if you don't, we don't want this candle to be red again and go towards us. So this level is super important. It should not break below. So if you look at last, this is consolidation. So one way to look at it is positive, right? But the thing is, the kind of drop, the kind of dips that we observed, couple of dips, those were aggressive. Those were not like uh, like it was like really some people are trying to bring down, as if. The good thing is Bitcoin is able to bounce back strongly. So two I think two attacks that I especially saw, which were like as if they really want to. This was really bad one, and then yesterday's one was also aggressive. But then look, the bounce was so solid that it actually erased all these losses. But the point is, what I'm not liking about this bounce is, the bounce is good, but it's not pushing the Bitcoin hard enough to break this upper edge. Again, this one solid, but why this two? Last 8 hours, why it is not continuing? Why it is living this um, Bitcoin at this level? Why the 62k range? It's not able to break above. Is something bothering me, right? So I can understand the reaction. So this is aggressive. This is somebody really wanted to short, in my opinion. And here also this was aggressive. Now this candle at 4 hour, see, there is no bounce, and if it starts melting again, we don't want that to happen, because I'm not sure how many times it's going to defend. So all these two bounces were defensive in nature, because none of this bounce actually pushed this price hard enough to break about this 62k 63k range, which we want to see. So I'm really looking forward for Bitcoin to break this consolidation. And as I said, I don't mind little consolidation, but this kind of aggressive move shows that not everybody wants to buy. There are some strong seller. Yeah, so this kind of a war. It's kind of a war where Bitcoin is trying to keep the balance at this moment. So this is my interpretation of the current situation, right? I didn't like this two bounce, and good thing is two drops. They were aggressive, and I liked the way it bounced, but didn't like that it didn't push hard enough to break above. So that's my summary, right? And I think going further at a lower level doesn't make sense to me. We will just see, because it's moving sideways doing nothing, and so we should zoom out and come back on 1 day scale, right? So this is 1 day. So this is the nearest trend line, and this is horizontal line, and then yeah, so that has to be broken above, right? Right now it's little bit of counter trend going on here, slow, but there is a counter trend. So this is one leg, the consolidation. We don't want another leg, and so on. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. So let's get back to alts. because that's the main agenda. Now, 1 inch is okay. If you look at, again, I'll in this session I'm going to draw trend lines. This is what Bitcoin has done. It this particular bounce has actually brought up, which is good thing for 1 inch. See, Aave is also maintaining this local trend at this moment. Okay, that means if it breaks below this, then risk. I'm drawing these lines to show you. So right now, ADA is near consolidation. Now this is tricky. This is descending triangle, mm, which is not good usually. Okay, usually it's a bad one. You know it. I mean, if you read this is a classic, because you have to leave this wick. This is a classic one, and bad one. Yeah, classic one means textbook one. Statistically, they go down. Okay, if it can survive, wonderful. So if you see it's really struggling, but in a way, positively speaking, it is able to defend. This support is able to defend. But if this fails, so to me, ADA seems vulnerable at this moment, because if it fails, you know, it is going to go down and hit this line, in my opinion. I'll just stretch this line and hit this one. Right now I'll make it yellow. We have yellow indicating that we don't know. Red is more definitive. We don't know. So I want to draw this line, actually red line below this. If the support is broken, that's the interpretation. If my line arrow is starting from here, that means this is valid only if it breaks below this level. Okay, so the starting of the arrow in my drawing is important. When I draw like this, that means I'm kind of setting up my expect. I mean, I'm stating that it's going down, kind of. When I do like this means I'm considering this is an edge. If it is broken below, then it is going up. If I draw similarly a line, an arrow about this, but I always make sure where I start. So if I'm starting here, that means this is my boundary for this to be true. Okay, so this is another note, that the starting of the arrow matters. So whenever you see my drawing, you have to see where it is starting. It is not just random place. Okay, so this is how I will draw. So this looks vulnerable to me, so I would just highlight. At this moment it's not a problem, but this is like 40% drop potentially. See, people, hodlers and all, I don't mind, but you got to have a stop loss here. Two stop loss, in my opinion. Maybe one here, another here. To kind of multiple stop losses. Why to, so stop losses? No need to sell anything, but stop losses are needed. So I'm going to highlight stop losses also. Let me do it for 1 inch also. So be careful. So you see today's low is one stop loss. Second, this is, by the way, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. I'm not trying to say you should sell here, but let me state in terms of support. I think that makes more sense. So this is today's low is a support. This August to October 24th is a support. So there are two supports you can assume and manage your risk accordingly. I'm going to highlight for hour as well. Today's low, and I would say this low is more important, and then this is the most important, because Even with this depth, it might change the angle, but if this is broken below, then there is a serious problem, right? So I would say today's low, then October 12th low, and September 26th low to be considered. I always believe in stepwise approach, as you know. ADA, you see this today's low, and then October 28th low. I'm going to reduce my mana. Reduce. Um, I'll just book profit. I'm a little uncomfortable. Hi, guys. You could apa recording. Okay, I'm reducing my mana again, as I mentioned, because you see it's losing value, and I don't want to lose the entire thing. So just this is not being recorded, not a financial advice, but I'm getting out for now because
So I think it is being recorded, Em.
no, it is. I paused it.
It shows recording on there right now.
Really? Oh, my bad. Oops. Recording. Okay, so please don't consider my action as a financial advice. I'm just I know I said I'm getting out of mana because I didn't realize it's being recorded. So consider that as an unofficial statement, please. I hope you understand. I need to be more careful. Okay. So I was talking at FTM. So FTM, who is holding, right? Amazing move, and there is no need to think about. But if I gain so much, I would like to protect my profit in a small chunk. As I said, it's not about getting out 100%. But personally speaking, I would say, okay, let me book my profit, in incremental step, because who wants to give up? And you can always, the beauty is you can always re-enter unless you are thinking from different point of view, right? Anyway, so that's anyway, so I'll highlight yesterday's low as a point of reference, but the probability of going this down is very high at this moment. And this is second, and maybe this is the third and the last one, because if this is broken below, then this structure is at a risk. Then you're looking for lower level like this. Okay, because this has gone up too much, so much, not too much, so much. So even if it comes down to this, it looks like this is not even 50% drop. I mean, if you consider the whole entire wave, even if it comes down to this, if I what I
Your
see.
screen's not moving, just FYI.
Huh?
The screen's frozen.
Oh, really? Some, my bad. Okay, should be
It's
good
all
now,
good now.
right?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I didn't realize. So there are two structure I want to highlight from TA point of view. One is this structure, which is like I shown to you. This could create head and then shoulder, and let's assume for now it creates a right shoulder and then breaks below. Now this is a child one. Okay, the parent one is higher, which is similar. I'll draw a different color and a bounce, and then I'll leave it here because this is kind of a decision point, right? So here also a decision point, but we are assuming right now that it will come down to this and then bounce and then come. But maybe I should also consider this one where it will decide. I should not just say it is going to go down. So this is how the pattern develops. Right? If this is I think high probable scenario at this moment, and then a potential bounce. We don't know how high it will go. It's hard to tell, but this is not about exact price level. This is about drawing, I mean the shape. So this drawing is for to highlight the pattern, not about the exact price level. Okay, just a clarification. Okay, and right, so this is a child one and this is a parent one. You can now visualize how it might turn out. So this becomes your neckline and then a critical support. What I was saying, that it went up so much that even this, it comes down to this is like a halfway. This is incredible, not even halfway. So that's something I wanted to highlight. Okay, so at this moment it's sitting at a near top, so it's showing a sign of weakness. FTT, the local trend has been broken, so you got to be not broken, my bad. Okay, usually it seemed broken but not. You see, it touched this one. Now this candle becomes a critical support, not immediate support, not critical one. October 27th low considered as the first support, and then this October 12th support, sorry, October 12th low as a second support, and this as the last one. Okay, then after that I don't know what might happen, because in that case again it might create this kind of a trend. So it might land here. In that case it will break this one but not this one, right? Even if it lands here, but if it breaks below, then it will break this one. That's why this is my second, and you don't want this to be broken, because if this is broken, we are talking about then horizontal support like this, and there's too much of damage by that time, in my opinion. So that's why
AC, your room one.
This is me.
make sure this is being recorded. Don't unmute yourself. Otherwise I have to redo everything as far as recording is concerned. Okay, GRT, there's no risk at this moment. Okay, but you see, so for this one I would say this October 27th low could be the first support, and I would say this low is the second support. Which one? October 21st, and then October 18th would be the third support. Or maybe, this is your first one, October 27th, my bad. This is your second, October 19th, and this is the third one. This is too low actually. You know what? Because if it comes down to this trend is broken. You don't want to, in short, you don't want price to be broken below this green line that you see. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. Yeah, you don't want it to be below this. So in my opinion, this can be the last one, of course. So 1, 2 and 3. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, HND, HND is fine, strong, no sign of weakness. You see, it's interesting, this kind of making a loop like this. So this is totally fine. It didn't correct much, which is good news, right? So it looks good. And this, I think this is a little tricky because here there are a lot of, so I would say your 24.4 would be the first line of defense, and then unfortunately in this case you have to go a little below because there is no correction for this one in between. So that's why it's a little tricky. I would draw, maybe you can draw a horizontal line. Let me draw a horizontal line on top of this. My bad. On top of this, which gives us 23.1, right? So 23.1 could be the second stop loss or second support, and the ultimate one would be October 24th, because this had a quick move, so there's no way to break down unless you follow this method. So this is the blue one, is the first line of defense, 26.4, then this red one, and this is the last one. I know the support is here, but I think I should have moved up a little bit. Okay, so you don't want this trend to be broken. So if it breaks below this, that's significant drop in that case in terms of percentage. Anyways, ICP is anyways very weak. It's near support, so there's nothing much to say. Probably I feel like removing this one. Use case is good, that's why I kept it, but I don't know why it's not moving up. So anyway, so this low is the first line of defense, October 27th low, and I would say this is the last one. I don't want anything below, which is the same, my bad, which is the same. So I think if this is broken below, maybe the whatever is the lowest, if this is the lowest, if this is broken below, then we are not interested in this, right? I think this makes sense. So this we can say this particular move has retested this, all right, but it cannot come again and break below because it doesn't make sense. Then it will go for 28. Now IOTA, this is not bad as far as setup is concerned. It was preparing for the breakout from this downtrend line. If you draw, so this is not bad. It has hit the previous support because this was a resistance. It was struggling to break above. If you look at once, twice, thrice, so many times, multiple times, and ultimately it's able to break above. Now it has landed here. So this is a usual behavior. It breaks out, retests the breakout level. So this is a usual behavior, right? But again, if it is not able to hold this one and goes down, that's a bad news. So I would say this candle's low is number one support, right? And then second should be this one, and ultimately this should be the last one, because in that, if this is broken, there's nothing left. I mean, when I say nothing left, then that would be too weak, and because you will, if now you may draw a trend line from here up to this one. So if this is broken below, means we're talking about breaking below this trend line, and then this one and this one. If this is broken below, then this particular bounce is gone, right? That means it is at risk, in simple words. Okay, KCS, very strong coin. Look at that. It's near all-time high. There is absolutely no sign of weakness, right? So now you can consider yesterday's as a first line of defense, but I think in this case this one is the most important, October 27th. If October 27th is broken below, then it's not good, simply not good. and the way it moved up, there's nothing in between. So that's why I would say this is the most important. Also, these were the point of rejections. So you see a nice breakout, and then this is throwback, we call throwback, and then retest of the breakout, and then another move and a made higher one. So this is a technical move, a nice move. And so this point 14.7 becomes the critical support. So maybe I should move this line here, right, approximately, yeah, near this, just below. But you got the idea, right? KSM, nice move. Look at that. I see momentum right now. Today it has momentum. And so now it's going to react near 4.3, so 4.14, the previous resistance. It had hit this one. It's going to react a little bit, but this time it should face a little lesser resistance compared to earlier one. So in this case, it should be able to KSM should be able to break above. So the KSM looking strong to me. I see a link is getting stronger, right? Oh, I should mention the immediate support. So for this one, I think this low, October 27th low, can be first line of defense, and then October 12th second line of defense, and I think this should be the last one, 21st, because if this structure is broken below, then it's not good. So these three levels can be considered as support. Link is strong and it's getting stronger. You can expect it to hit the previous recent high, right, with this move. I think this height is good enough for it to, so it's going to react a little bit here, but then ultimately it should go for the previous point of rejection, which is 36, around 36. So looking strong, nice bounce. So when you look at this kind of a coin individually, I'm trying to, I don't want to sound, I have to be neutral, because, but at the same time, neutral in a sense, I have to be subjective to the coin and talk about the coin, not about potential risk. At the same time, I'm just highlighting that these supports can be considered, because once it start dropping, these coins, no matter where they are going to go down, no matter what they're doing. So that's why if you will have enough time, see, if it never hits your support, then you never have, I mean, you don't have to do anything. But this is about preparation, so please don't misunderstand me that I'm kind of raising a high alert kind of a situation, but it's not. I believe in prevention, and preparation, not that you rush for it when it market starts dropping, because you are not going to get time. You might be asleep or offline. So this kind of information, if you keep it handy, first of all, you're mentally ready. So you have right now, you're calm and composed because market is not dropping. But this is the time where you are at the best state of mind, and when you are at the best state of mind, you end up with a best decision for your risk management, for your asset. But when the market is falling, the emotion kicks in, and then you are not at the best state of mind, right? Makes sense. So you might end up doing some mistakes, sell in panic or something like that. But if you plan now, I should hurry up actually, because I had to post this recording too. This low, yes, I think this low, October 30th low, and October 27th low, and this low, October 4th low, are the most critical one. You can say this is the most critical one lastly. So maybe this one, then I would go for the second one, October 4th, and then this one, 28th of September, right? These are the three levels I would highlight. Critical one, this is the most one, critical one, and so on. Luna, So Luna, I had highlighted, this is under consolidation. I added this box for a reason. So it looks like this is positive, right? There's no weakness, absolutely no weakness. And if everything, independently speaking, this is preparing for the upside breakout. But you will see how things could change if situation changes. Now Mana has run a lot. Yesterday it bounced. I had highlighted the required level. Now it's dropping. This is what I don't like it. So it was not able to stay there. It broke above the channel, descending channel. Then I drew this ascending channel, right? A few hours ago. Now you see it's resetting. So you know what I did, right? Because I cannot see my profit going away like this, because my entry was here. I don't want it to go down. I'll always enter when breaks above the green one. It broke below green one, and not just broke and touch, but it's just that it's losing more and more. And with Bitcoin situation, the probability of this to go down is even higher. So that's why I took action. Let me complete quickly. So okay, for this one, if this one 2.84 could be the support, okay, and then this one, but I don't think this is going down, right? So but this low, November 1st low and October 31st low are the two most important low. Below that you may consider this, but this is too low. I don't think you should go all the way. From support point of view, I would just stick, I will consider this as the last one. So it might, it could bounce from here, right? So as long as it doesn't break this line, very hard actually line, but yeah, let's say this blue line is the first line of defense, which is 2.84, and then this, I think November 1st, and then I think this is easier, October 31st. So these are the three levels I would consider as support. Okay, so you can decide what you want to do. Maybe I should raise this now to this low as an ultimate one. Matic. So the Matic, so this kind of a structure, so let me draw this one. It's hard to visualize. Usually this kind of a structure, well, this is a center point, and then you expect this pattern to develop and continue on the upside, right? This is 1 hour, but this pattern is visible only on 1 hour. But the moment you see this trend line is broken, this pattern is gone. That's what happened with Bitcoin. Remember, I on Bitcoin daily, I had that arch. Okay, so right now I would say yesterday's low is the first line of defense, and then it's a little tricky, but then this one is second line of defense, and I would consider this low as the third and the last one. I mean, I know distance wise this is terrible. Let me see the percentage, 38%. But yeah, as far as, because even if it comes down to this level, it's not a problem, because in that case, if you draw this line for an example, right, so it could come down all the way here. So you will take care here, you will take care here, correct? But if it comes to this level, that means if you project this just for theory, I mean hypothetically, if you just project this and breaks below this one, then it's not good. As you could see, then this trend is broken, then it's not good at all, right? So that's why I think This line I would just I would keep it like this, right? Support line. And also you can see the structure that I'm foreseeing is where I must hurry up, right? Because people will not be able to see the recording. You see that this is head. I hope it doesn't look something like this, because it will be terrible. But there are head and shoulder at multiple places. I hope it doesn't do like this, because then it will go down all the way here. So, but this is I'm just highlighting what might happen. So that's why right now it's not happening, but it will happen stepwise, because it's not going to tell you that, oh, I'm doing this. So consider this pattern in mind, where this is going to be, it might complete the head which ends here, and this becomes the neckline. Actually the neckline is at angle, it is going to land on this one. So you see what the shape is like this. So this is left, and then this is the head, and this is, if it has to go down like this, go up, so this is going to be the neckline at angle. This is tricky pattern. NKN is a funny coin. It has been hitting this resistance like spikes. You see again, very, I think I should remove this. Anyways, so yeah, I would say this is the most important one, and then of course this is too deep, but I would say last one. This is the last support. So this is the first, maybe this is the second, and this is the third, right? I'm just moving faster now because this is melting. Now Ethereum, sorry, this is one. So one hit the resistance. It has done its job. Job is done 100%, right? Now it had followed all the technicals. So you see R13 was precise. Then interim resistance was hit precisely. Then R14 was hit precisely. Now it came down, broke below interim resistance, tried to climb up, failed. Now it's being rejected by this orange line 0.32. Now it has to land. So again, if you visualize, this is a head. There's so many head and shoulder, my friends. This is my fear. I would just end here. Okay. This is recording. This is recorded, so I'm not keeping the drawing. So now I would say yesterday's low is your first, and then maybe you may use R13 as second, and then ultimately this one, you see October 10th low, it can be the third one. You can keep on following, in this case the fourth one, October 6th, in this case, because this coin moved up so much. But yeah, so if you just follow this kind of incremental approach, then you are safe. You see BTC is dropping, it's negative now. Let me complete it. Sand has, I added sand but a wrong timing, so my bad. So don't get disappointed, please. It has hit R4, it has done its job. I have kept the R5 and posted. It's just unfortunate that it has to face this timing wise, but I had already shared resistance to you guys, so I'm moving fast. SHIB had hit R8. R9 was ready, but now it's not bad, but you see it's under influence right now. So one thing is, it's not immune. That's one thing. SKL is a little funny. It has tried many times, so it's not giving up easily, right? But now it is trying to break above this support, so it's right now it's struggling. But yeah, it's able to keep the higher lows, which is good thing. But yeah, Solana This is interesting one. See, R19 is like a wall. So rejection, 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 and rejection. Look at that. You tell me, if TA doesn't work, TA works, right? This is not a random thing. What it is, so this is absolutely strong coin, right? There's no doubt about it. So, but yesterday's, I would say yesterday's low would be first sign that if it breaks below, and then this low, which is October 27th low, and then keep this as the third one, October 19th, and then this one. If it breaks below October 12th, then it's not good in my opinion, right? Then because it kind of breaks this trend, and then the pressure is much higher. In that case, it will break below this and go for 106. SRM is on lifeline, life support. I think I should get rid of this coin. Consider this is gone. Okay, consider this is gone. I should have removed. There's nothing. Maybe we'll bring some other. Oh look, so I had highlighted sushi today, I think on Discovery. Yeah. So this broke, it tried so many times. Ultimately, it is able to break above. Very interestingly, it is going against Bitcoin. So this is an hedge, a short-term opportunity. I don't know how long this will last. Maybe there is some news event pushing. I am not aware of any. I didn't read anything, so I don't know. This kind of behavior must be because of some news event, because this is highly unusual that it goes against BTC, not just a little but significantly. This must be driven out of a news. I think you can check it out and let me know, please, later on. But there has to be news. I don't read news because to me this looks like a news event. This is not just random behavior. So chart tells me that there is news event. I don't know what news. I come to know about news from chart. People try to trade based on news. Totally different approach. So now if you draw this line, tell it's on edge, you can see. So survived, and again two touches here. So that means yesterday's low is your first line of defense. I would lower this one and say this is your second. Oh, this is the ultimate. I should keep it ultimate one. So I would say this is a simple ladder one, and then this September 29th is the second, and then this is the third one, the last one. Okay, so because if this line is broken below, I mean, then we are talking about retesting this level, which is not good, right? Because this depth wise, who wants to keep 40-50%? Who wants to see 50% drop? So hodler will hodl, right? I personally, I don't care if they want to. It's to me. I mean, why would I keep see this 50% drop? No way. Theta. Theta is a bit unpredictable. I mean volatile. Maybe I just kept it because the trend is good, and in past it has made a significant progress. If you look at the trend, absolutely stunning. Look at this. So that's why, because of that reputation. But if I look at this part, it's so chaotic and ordinary that I would not, in given a choice, I would not keep this coin. So it's just because of the recent, I mean, this particular trend. I thought maybe once it breaks above this resistance, it will do something similar, and it might, right? So that's why I'm keeping. But since it started correcting, its behavior was not at all consistent. So that's why I don't like it. But anyway, so so right now it's doing okay. So this is the first line of defense. and this is the second, and this is the ultimate one, which is anyway the lowest one. But I would say you don't have to wait for this one. This is the ultimate one. So I can draw, I can readjust this one to this. Okay, uni is fine. It's moving hard. When I say fine means it's not going down at least. And yesterday's low is the first support, then October 12th second. In this case, this has to be the third, September 26th. Beyond this, then it's not good. So right now it's trying to climb up, which is good. VET broke above the downtrend line. It retested this interim resistance, which is good. So this is technical move. If you look at it, it broke above, retested, and went up, right? So, and then now it landed on this one. So this is looking really good, and you can expect it to continue moving on the upside, right? So VET is looking good. VRA has been consistent, and it bounced really well yesterday. So there's absolutely no sign of weakness. So it's down by 8%, but to me it's not a big deal at this moment, as long as the yesterday's low is maintained. So if the yesterday's low is broken below, then again you can then it will land on R2, in my opinion, because then it will be very hard for it to survive. So if the R3 is not R3, yesterday's low is broken below, then it will look for R2. So in that case, it's simple for you. Then this becomes the second, support. Ultimately, this has gone up too much. So this is the trend line support point of view. This is the ultimate support, right? This is the lowest one. And in that case, because what you don't want to see is this is also, there are two parent child. I won't spend a lot of time, but this is first left shoulder, head, right, and so on, and then this is a bigger one, left shoulder and a head, so which completes here and then bounce. So that's why you got to be careful. We don't want this to become if we don't want it to go down below this R2, because then it will look for lower level and create this huge head and shoulder in a way, right? So it would be like at an angle, different angle, but yeah. Okay. Waves, bit chaotic. Yeah, it's chaotic. Look at this volatility and all. So for this low is your first support, and I would say second support. That's it. I would not give two supports in three supports in this case. So I'll just bring up this one to 20.64 roughly speaking. So because this is like solid line of, this is defense. If this defense is broken below, then I think then it doesn't make sense to me, right? XLM we added, but not much since it's moving sideways. So I think I'm going to remove this coin. So SRM and XLM going away. So I'll not bother. But as this low, October 27th low, is the first one, and this should be the last one. I would say don't have this, has to be the last one. I'm going to remove this anyway. So there's nothing much. XTC doing nothing at this moment. Just it's still under downtrend if you look at it, and this coin inherently, I mean, right from the beginning, its movement is not so friendly, right? It has to be tracked on a monthly scale, then only you see some trend, but it's very zigzag, like that movement is not so good. Anyway, so XTZ, I think this low, October 27th low is important. And then I would say this is the one, and that's it. Maybe you can go for this one too, this lows. So this low, fourth low, I don't know how long you want to, how far you want to go. I would just keep this support at this level, because below then not so good. It has so much of range. I'm telling you, even if it comes down to this, it has to, because it has been moving like this, so very hard. Even if it comes down, it can go up. It's so crazy, because the wavelength is pretty long. This is unusual. The mana has surprised me. It is trying to bounce. So is it like BTC is bouncing? No, this is going against BTC. That is surprising to me. So can I say it fooled me? Yeah, I can say that. But now I would say, so it's good news that it's bouncing as I speak. But now again, it has to break above the green one. Okay, so this is good. So as far as support is concerned, I mentioned this blue as a first line of defense, then this low, and then this low. So it hasn't broken the blue, which is good. Now it has to break above green again for it to continue. So I'm happy to see this. Even sand is moving up, which is good. It's bouncing. So it looks like gaming coins are stronger despite of what BTC is doing. Which is, look at the BTC, it has touched the red line, my friend. So I think we have to keep an eye on this, and we have to see if it drops further, whether mana is able to keep up or not. My only concern, it's moving up, but is it able to sustain or not is a question. If it is able to sustain, then that can be a place. Sand and mana could be the hedge, and sushi is time being doing something different. So maybe that could be the third one, but not so. So I think that's where I'll end, because I had to upload it. So I'll end this recording here.